I love doing this so much more than my day job. This could be my day job, and I would be the happiest man. The first time I come through, there's a little bit of apprehension. I'm not a recognized pro skater. I'm just a regular guy who drives a truck for a living. So there's a little skepticism, like, who is this guy coming in and doing this thing? This is literally just a work of passion. I know ultimately we're gonna help a lot of kids get free skateboards. Yeah. It's often confusing to people because they think their kid is gonna get the art board to ride. And I'm like, no way, man.
That's not how it works.
Those boards are amazing, one-of-a-kind pieces. A lot of these were defective from the factory. Okay. So they're not to be ridden. It's literally wall art when they're done. And the money is what buys brand new skateboards that we'll give away. Well, the very first one I went into was Avenal, and I was like petrified. When I got to this point, I didn't want to look at anybody. I was scared. But the more I've done it, these guys are actually very nice, you know? Mr. Peters, right? And how you doing? Olivas. I'm Rodney, man. Thank you very much. Okay. You painted last time. Yes, I did. So I want to make sure I say hello. All right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. We're going to do it again. There's some different shapes in here, different colors.
The guys in prison, they thirst for positive interactions, positive programs to do. We have 10 guys right now that are able to participate.
But look at that shape. That's a crazy, like, 80s shape.
I tell the guys about the program all the time. I always talk about how you give back.
My nonprofit is Fresno Skateboard Salvage. All of the institutions we work with, we auction their art through a Facebook group, FSS Auctions Nonprofit, and we're sending a bunch of kids out on skateboards, which hopefully works like it did for me, because I grew up in a rough area. Everybody was joining gangs, and skateboarding kind of moved me away from that. It didn't tend me off to be a doctor, it just moved me over a little bit, and I missed those decisions that lead to joining a gang.
It's pretty smooth. I've always liked art. It's a way of expressing yourself, you know? I was a troubled youth once, you know? So I want to give back to kids that could potentially be taken off the street to do something creative, you know, like skateboarding or any type of sports.
So this right here, this is Louis, he's my buddy. I drag him into things that he doesn't always want to do.
Exactly. I do more drawing, pencil, pen, color. I actually saw Sean do his first boards, and I was there every time he was painting it. It really caught my eye, like I want to learn how to paint. So I did a couple of paintings here and there, and I feel like I wanted to do a skateboard.
Anyone like that shape? I would like to see more from their heart, not necessarily a superhero, but things that were important to them from their memories of childhood or whatever it is that they love, translated onto that board.
Growing up, I just always loved colors, and I love wildlife, and I love nature. And the art that I generally do is based on that. Before we even got these skateboards, when I found out we were doing another round, I wanted to paint some koi fish. And when Rodney brought in this longboard, I can just picture the koi swimming on top of this board. And so my plan for this board is to paint some koi fish.
I will coordinate with the captain along the way for more supplies that are needed to keep them busy. And we just wait till they're done and collect it all up. Usually it's like 4 to 6 months. I don't expect to get the boards back right away. There's potential delays throughout this process. I come in here and I meet real human beings, and it breaks my heart that they stay and I leave. And I have to remind myself that there's nothing I can do about this, but there's this little thing that they're doing for me is actually doing equally as much, if not more, for them. And at least there's that. At this moment, we're working on something positive together.
It's very therapeutic, it's very soothing. In here, there's just so much concrete and metal, right? Everything's drab, and I love bringing color into this place. Just bringing that color into a place where there isn't a lot of color changes the mentality. Right now, I'm about 20 hours into this board. I probably have at least another 30 to 40 hours to go on this one.
Usually with painting, you're supposed to go from light to dark. I tend to do the opposite. It's like my time to think about what's going on in my life, whether it's good or bad, you know, like it helps me reflect. Go a little darker. Originally, it was a different pattern. It wasn't looking the way I wanted it to. So I blanked it out and I'm like, let me start over again. I do like increments of like an hour, 2 hours, you know, try to do the best I can. This is what I call the ugly stage. You always have an ugly stage of painting. Once I layer everything it's gonna look smooth, it's gonna look just like the picture.
We would not have the skateboard painting program with Fresno Skateboard Salvage if it wasn't for Rodney Rodriguez first creating it, but then Captain Peterson bringing it into Corcoran. The Angel skateboard is for Warden Campbell. It's a surprise for her. We're collaborating together to make transformative change within the system. And without that assistance from the staff, and even just the day-to-day officers allowing us to have our paintbrushes, have the skateboards, and work together to make it possible, we can't have that change. We can't have that rehabilitation. If guys don't have that rehabilitation, how do they go home and be a productive neighbor, a productive family member, a productive employee? We need that change. Next time you come see me, this one will be completely done. It will be sealed with wax. It'll hopefully look like a real fish, real koi fish swimming over some rocks in a koi pond.
I'm here to pick up the art as created by some incredibly talented men here in Corcoran State Prison. The talent is phenomenal. It's nothing that anybody would expect to come out of a place like this. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? My God, it's intense. Super well executed too.
They're all beautiful though. Great job on all of them. Great job.
Yeah, so we just want to thank you for supporting Fresno Skateboard Salvage and
Absolutely.
everything that we've been doing. Captain Peterson brought us this program a year and a half ago, and we just really appreciate everything that you've done for us. And we have something else for you.
Uh-oh.
We heard that you were an Angels fan.
Woo! I love it. That's right. Woo! Ah, come on. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
Thank you.
of course, you're welcome. And
Love it.
yeah,
Well, the next step from here is to take the art and try to sell it, essentially. We want to sell the idea, sell the work to the audience that's willing to pay for this work.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's so clean. Yes. Beautiful. Abstract, a little bit of abstract in the back.
We'll have an auction probably late January or early February on Facebook. We're shipping these boards all over the country.
anybody else need to use this?
So what's next is to let people know we've got them, to share the imagery, to share their stories.
At first, I had no idea what to do. Knowing me that I like a lot of nature stuff, I figured I could do some type of bird. I was thinking about an owl, but when I went through some books, I found a parrot. It's very colorful. I figured a colorful parrot wouldn't be too bad on a skateboard. It made me feel good. It made me feel like if I could do this, I could do other stuff. It brought me joy, happiness, excitement. I love it.
Overall, I like the way it came out. There was some fun parts, and then there was times where I was like, I was breaking my head over it. The whole thing about like doing something like this big because I wanted to challenge myself. I have kids, and even when I showed them, they were like, "Oh, that's cool. You know, that's cool that you're doing that." I'm truly just doing this from the heart. Along the way, I learned a lot.
Yeah, so I think it came out really good. I put all the different scales on the koi fish, because every time they paint, you always see something that you can do better. There's always something that you can improve with or change, but I'm very happy with it. I'm saying goodbye to it today, and Rodney's gonna take it, but it's going for a really good cause. The darkness of this board around the bright koi at night, when I hang it on my wall in my cell, the koi fish is like almost illuminated. And so you can see the koi fish standing out in the darkness, and I really like that. I want whoever is buying the skateboard to remember that the money's going to the kids. Every $50 raised is able to buy one more skateboard for a at-risk youth or an underserved youth. Just keep that in mind when you're bidding on all the skateboards, whether it's mine or anybody else's.
Hopefully. I think my favorite part of all this might not be what you expect. It's that first, I am the kid that could have grown up to end up in here. Secondly, my day job is not involved. This is an idea I had that I followed through with, that I'm in here because of a nonprofit I started. We've helped thousands of kids get free skateboards. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Not everybody gets to come in here and do what I'm doing. It's a very unusual project, and even I can admit that. What we're doing here is kind of strange, but wonderful and important and helpful from what I can see to them as artists and as humans, and to the kids that are benefiting on the outside eventually. But it's still just totally amazing. I'll keep it going, man.
Yes.
And I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Roger.
Take care. In fact, they're already asking, when am I coming back? So I've told them it will be 3 to 4 months from now. We'll start the process over again. But this group in particular is really eager to help even further. So we're talking about using white Vans shoes as a potential different way to fundraise off of their art. I hope that the audience that's waiting outside to purchase it is just as excited as I am, because it's incredible art. I'm incredibly grateful. It's been a huge boost to the program for what they've done.